going to make a Christmas stocking, and you can use any size needles, any size yarn. Use the needles that the yarn calls for. I'm going to use number 4 worsted yarn and number 9 circular needles, 2 of them. I am not going to use double pointed needles this time. So if you want a bigger stocking, get bulky yarn or extra bulky yarn and use the needles that yarn calls for. So I am casting. The length of the needles doesn't matter. What matters is that they're the same size. So I'm casting on with the long tail. There we go. Once I have my stitches there, this time I'm going to make a little knot so that they doesn't go anywhere. There we go. And I am going to pass half of the stitches to the other needle. So let's see, I have 1, 2, I cast it on 40 stitches, and I'm going to have 20 in one needle, 20 in the other needle. So let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, so once I have my 20 needles, my 20 stitches on each needle, I am going to put them parallel and pass all the stitches to the other side of the needles. So let's see. That's there, and this is here. Now I want to make sure that the working yarn is on facing me, so closest to me. So make sure that your stitches are not twisted. The cast on part should be down, and now I can start knitting. So there we go. So I'm going to be making ribbing, and I am going to, this is my working yarn, and I want to start, since this is the last stitch that I made or knitted, I'm going to go into the metal needle, and I am going to use metal with metal. So, and I'm going to do the ribbing. So knit 1 and purl 1. Knit 1 and purl. Once I have 1 or 2 or 3, I can take this off so it doesn't get in the way, and keep on working. Okay, so I finished that part here. Now I'm going to put all my stitches to the other side of the bamboo needle, and I'm going to work bamboo with bamboo. So there's my working yarn, and I'll start my ribbing with those needles. Okay, so you're going to be going around with ribbing about 2 inches with the number 4 yarn. It's going to be about 2 inches with this yarn and about 4 inches with bigger yarn. But I'll have all those things written down. Right now I'm going to give you the instructions of this small one. Okay, and I will see you when I finish my ribbing. Okay, I'm going to be knitting in the round with straight stitch. That means knit all around for about another inch, and then I want to start making a letter, an initial, an N for Nicholas. That's my grandson's name, and I designed it in a graph paper. And so I'm going to be using intarsia, and that means I need 1, 2, 3 small balls of the gray yarn. I want to make it with this, and then I need 2 more of the red. So this is my N, but since I am working from the top to the bottom, that means I need to do it this way. So I numbered my stitches from 1 to 18 because I want it really centered in the front, and I numbered my rows from it would be from the top to the bottom, but this is the way I'm going to be knitting it. And so I will start doing that. And let me tell you how I never use bobbins. I don't know why I don't like them. The way I like to use my pieces of yarn is that I take my hand like so, and I'm going to go around with my yarn like this, and then I turn it and do it the other way for as much as I want to, and like that. See, it's very easy to pull, see, and I can use as I go. So I'll see you when I start making my intarsia N. Okay, so what I want to do now is that I want to separate the 20 from the back and the 20 from the front, because I'm going to be using only these 20 to make my letter. And I want to add 1 stitch on each side, so like that I can sew the front with the back once I finish my letter, and then continue with the 2 needles. So what I will do is that I want to knit 1 inch in the front, and I will knit another inch in the back, but not until later. But I want to add 1 stitch on each edge. So I will knit that, and then I will make a twisted stitch right in there, and that will be for sewing, and then on it all the way to the other side, and I need to add 1 stitch on the other side. So once I have my 2 halves done, I can sew them and then keep knitting in the round for the rest of the stocking. So let's do this, and 1 before the end, which will be right there. I will pick up and twist it and make a stitch, and then I'll have that last one. Now on the other side, what I want to do is put all these stitches on a stitch holder, because I'm not going to need them for the time being, and so just to get the needle out of the way, I'll put these on a stitch holder and then knit back and forth on the other needle for an inch before I start my letter. Okay, So that is taken out of the way. And then on this side, I am going to be purling. And I'll do that for an inch and then come back to start the ladder. Okay, so what I have here is 2 reds and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the gray. So let's do that. I have 2 reds and now I'm going to put my gray. Long tails, please, very long tails. So I am going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 grays, and carefully I'm going to make just a simple knot in the back with the gray and the red, because I don't want to lose that. And then I am going to pick up a red, which is going to be the middle part of my, and one of the middle parts, so long tail, and I need to make 4 reds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Place it down carefully and make a knot there. It's only at the beginning, only on the first row. And then I am going to pick up another gray, and I need to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 also. 7 grays. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then at the end I need to have 2 reds. 1, 2, and I make a knot there too. Okay, so now I have all the yarn that I need to work with. Not until I get to the middle part, then I need to add some more. And all the tails are in the back of my knit, of my work, on the wrong side. So now I want to see what I need to do on the next row. Let me show you. The next row is going to be red. Let me see if I can see, if you can see it here. Okay. The next row needs to be red from left to right. Let's see if you can see it there. From left to right. And I have 2 reds. Okay, let me see where my tails are. So 2 reds. And then I'm going to leave that red down, and then from under the red I am going to pick up the gray. So they need to be crossed because you don't want a gap. So underneath the red you pick up the gray, and I am going to knit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I leave that one there, and I am picking up the red next to it, and bring it from under the gray, and then I need to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 reds. So it is going to go under the gray, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, this will be fixed later, 5, 6, 7, 8 reds. And now I let go of the red and I pick up the gray, and it's already on underneath, so no problem. You can cross it again if you wish, but it's really not necessary since it's already on the left. And I'm going to make 5 grays. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let it go, and then pick up the red, cross it underneath the gray, has to go under the gray, and then make my other 2 stitches to the end. Okay. Okay, so row number 3, I am going to make 2 reds and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 grays, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 reds. Okay, so let's do that. I have 2 reds, and then I cross underneath my red, I let that go, and underneath it I pick up the gray, so they're crossing in the back. So I will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 grays, and then I let go of that gray and I pick up the red, and we said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 reds. So underneath the gray, like twisting, I am going to pick up the red and do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then I let go of that red and pick up the next gray, and I am twisting it in the back, so I'm picking it up from underneath the red, and I am making 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I let go of the gray and pick up the red. Be careful you don't pick up the wrong one. Okay, this is the low one. Underneath the gray, it has to go under the gray, and then I make 2 red. Oops. Okay. Now I will turn, and then row, I already did that number 3, and now row number 4, I do 1, 2, 3 reds and 4 grays. So of course all the even number rows are red from the left to the right. So now I have 1, 2, 3 reds. I let go of the red and pick up the gray, and I am going to make 4 grays. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I let go of the gray and I pick up the next red. Get enough yarn here, and I need to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 reds. Of course I have to put it underneath the gray, so I can make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I let go of the red, pick up the gray, and then I need to make 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, let go, and 3 reds. Pick up from underneath the gray and do my 3 reds. 1, 2, 3. And now I'm going to, you can see how I started doing my, this can be, all these are going to be fixed at the end because they are a little bit loose. No problem, because these are my tail ones. So I'm starting my letter there, and I will do another 2 rows so you can see, make sure that you're doing it right. Okay, row number 5. I am going to do 3 reds, 3 grays. So 1, 2, 3, let go, pick up the gray from underneath, do 3 grays, 1, 2, 3, let go, pick up the next red from underneath. Sometimes they get entangled and you have to make sure that you're okay with them. Okay, so from underneath I am going to pick it up and do, let's see how many, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 reds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 reds, and then I pick up the gray from underneath the red, and I will do 3 grays, 1, 2, 3, let it go, and 3 reds, 1, 2, 3. Now I turn and everything is entangled, but I need to take some time and have it straight. Okay, so row number 6 will be 3 reds, 3 grays, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so I will purl 1, 2, 3. Let go of that one. Pick up the gray from underneath right there, cross it, and then do 3, 1, 2, 3, let go, pick up the next one, this is the next one, yeah, this is the next one. So I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whoops, 7, 8, 9, 10, let go. From underneath I pick up the gray, see they're crossed, see them? And I do 3 grays, let's see, yeah, 3 grays, 1, 2, 3, and then let go, pick up the red and do 3 reds. And that's it. That's the way the intarsia goes, and I'll make more rows and I'll be back to show you how it's done, how it looks. Okay, so I finished my initial and I am going to be placing all these stitches in a holder. So let's do that. And then we need to pick up the stitches from the other holder and knit the same length as what the initials were. Since we know how many rows the initial takes, so that's going to be an easy part. Okay, I'm going to be cutting all these because I really don't need them anymore. Just leave long tails so you can weave them in later. Okay, there we go. We don't need those. Now we pick up these and knit up with your new yarn as many rows as your initial takes. So I will see you when I finished working these rows and I have the same length as the initial. Okay, so I finished the plain side with a knit row because I want my yarn to be there. And I picked up the stitches from the initial, from the holder, and I am going to be securing all these ends so they don't go anywhere and then they don't get in the way of my knitting. So secure all these ends, weave them in. And once you do that, you're going to get your 2 needles. And remember that we added a new stitch on each side so that we could sew these 2 pieces together later. So that means that we're going to be knitting 2 stitches together at the beginning, 2 stitches together at the end of this initial side. And once I do my 4 rounds, I will be back. Okay, so I finished my 4 rounds and now I'm going to start with the flap. So usually the heel on Christmas boots is, as you see the boot and you have your initial, they are on the left side. So that's, I'm going to be marking that so that I know that this is the side that I need to use, but it's easy, it's on the left. So what you want to do is that you want to have 10 stitches from here, from this needle, and 10 stitches from this other needle onto one needle, and then these 10 and these 10 onto another needle. So what I'm going to do is that I want to knit 10 over this side normally, and around, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so I'm going to transfer these 10 into a double pointed needle, or a cable needle will be okay, but whatever you have. I'm using a double pointed needle. So now I have the 10 from here, and I am going to transfer them into this side where the initial is. So let's get this out, and I need to transfer those to here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. Now I want to have 10 from this needle into the other needle. And I will transfer these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I want them on the blue needle, or on the other needle. So let's do that. And like that I have 20 on each needle, and I need the 20 to make the flap for the heel. So let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I guess I dropped the one. Here it is. So let's fix this. Okay. There we go. So now I have 20 in one needle and 20 in the other. And this is where, on this side is where I want to make my flap. So let's do that. Now, on the heel side, I am going to be knitting only on this needle. The other one is going to be on a standstill. And I'll be working only with this needle for 14 rows back and forth. So knit 1 row and purl 1 row, and which means knit and purl 7 times. And I will be back. I'm going to show you how to do this. Okay, so back and forth. I have my 20 here. Remember, it's on the left side of your initial. So it's half of the back, half of the front. So you turn, use the same needle because this one is on standstill. And do 14 rows. And I'll see you when I finish those. Okay, so now we're going to do the turn of the heel. And what you want to do now is that you're going to slip one right there and then knit 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now you're going to slide, and knit these 2 stitches together. Knit 1. Now turn, and you're going to slip 1, purl 3, 1, 2, 3, purl these 2 stitches together, and purl 1. Turn. Now you're going to slide 1 as if to purl like so, and you're going to knit 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Slide, knit, and knit 1. Turn, and we're going to slide 1 and purl 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Purl these 2 stitches together, so you have a stitch from where we're working and one from the needle, so purl together and purl 1. Turn, and now slide 1 and knit 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Slide, knit, and knit 1. Turn, and slide 1 and purl 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Purl these 2 stitches together, purl 1. Turn. Now you slide 1 and knit 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Slide, knit, knit 1. Turn, and now we're going to purl, slide 1 as if to purl, and purl 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Purl those 2 stitches together and purl 1. So let's see how many stitches we have. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. And that's how many you need to have. And see how pretty that is looking? So that's the way it should look. What I want to do now is the gusset, and what I need to do is cut my working yarn. I'm going to leave a long tail and I'll make a little knot with it later. And I want to pick up my working yarn and pick up 9 stitches along the right side. So this side, as you see, where you did your 14 rows on the right side. So let's pick up 9 stitches here. So that will be 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's get, there we go. 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, wonderful. And now I am going to knit the 12 that I have here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So now I can make a little knot with the tail that I cut, so it's secure. There we go. And I knit these 12. So I'm knitting my 12. I needed to stop because I sneezed. So there we go. And now I am going to pick up 9 stitches from the other side. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Oh, perfect. Okay, so I have them here. So now I have 30 in the needle that I was working on the heel with, and I have 20 on the other needle, and I am going to start working with the other needle also. So once I finished picking up my stitches for the gusset, I will attach the other side. So I'm going to do one, the 20 that you have on the other needle, okay. Let's get that out of the way. These things are so much fun to make, and this is going to be for my grandson, so I bet he's going to want to know what's in there. Okay, so I finished this part. I go back to the heel and knit on this. So let's see, blue with blue. This is my working yarn, please be aware. And this time I'm going to do knit one and then slide, slide, and knit. And then knit 24. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. We knit 2 stitches together and knit 1. Now we continue on the front part. And you're going to be continuing like this. Let's see, until you have 40 stitches left, because we're going to be taking stitches off the heel part. So go and do this part where there's no heel. Okay, so I need to explain this. One row you're going to knit 1, slide, knit, and then knit until you have 3 left, and then you're going to knit 2 together and knit 1, and then go around the 20 in the back, and then the next row you do nothing, you only knit, and then you go and work on the 20 on the back. And now the next one you knit 1, slide, knit, and then knit until you have 3 left, knit 2 together, knit 1, and then work in the back. So I'm going to have it written down, and I will see you on the next time that I need to take off, so like that you see how it's done again. Okay, so I'm finishing the round of only knit, and I am back to the heel part, in which I am going to do blue with blue, knit 1, slide, knit, and then knit until I have 3 stitches left. So it's alternated. One round you take off and one round you don't. And I'll have those written down row by row, so no problem. And it's the same as making socks, the same principle. Okay, so now we have 3 left. We knit it together, we knit 1, and then I go to the 20 in the back, and the other side, green with green, and I will see you when I have my initial 40 stitches. Okay, so here we are. Once you finish the heel, you're going to go around and around and around with 20 stitches on each needle for 28 rounds. So please count them in a piece of paper or however you wish. And it's 28 rounds. And now I'm going to start working on the toe. And what I want to do is that, let's see, blue with blue. I want to do on each side, on each needle, I want to do, let me put this here so I don't stretch the yarn. Okay. So knit one, whoops, and then slide, slide, and knit. And then we're going to knit 14, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Let's see if it, yeah. So now we knit 2 together and knit 1. So now we leave that there and we do the same on the other needle. So I'll do that. Oops, they're a little bit, need to clean them. So knit 1 and slide, slide and knit. And knit 14. 1, 2. Need to clean my needles. Okay, there we go. That's what happens when you start your work without putting the other needles at the same size as what you're going to be working, so don't leave them in the cable. Okay, so I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and I guess I have to fix that. Knit it together and knit 1. No, I have 13. Okay. Okay. So 14, knit it together and knit 1. So now the next round, so all around, you're going to only knit. And then the next round, you're going to knit 1, slide, slide, knit, knit 12, knit together, knit 1, and then you do that on both sides. And then the next round, you only knit. I'll come back when I do that. Okay, so I finished my knitting and I have 10 stitches on one needle, 10 stitches on the other, and I'm going to finish this by doing grafting or Kitchener stitch. So I cut my yarn, get that out of the way, and I am going to show you how to do this. So get a needle, a tapestry needle, and pass your yarn through. There we go. And now you put the 2 needles together. Let me get this a little bit closer. Okay. So now I am going to pass the yarn from the back to to the stitch in front, like so. And now I'm going to go to the back again, as if to purl. And now I bring my yarn to the front and pick up as if to knit, and the next one you purl. You take it off, and the next one you as if to purl. Now you take this one as if to purl, take it off, and the back is, and then as if to knit. Do not take that one off. So to the front, as if to knit, take off, as if to purl, and in the back as if to purl, take off, as if to knit. And then in the front as if to knit, take off, as if to purl, and in the back as if to purl, take off, as if to knit. Front as if to knit, take off, as if to purl, and the back as if to purl, take off, as if to knit. And you get the idea of this. Let me get this a little bit straighter. Okay, there we go. See how it doesn't show? So as if to knit, take off, as if to purl, as if to purl, take off, as if to knit, as if to knit, take off, as if to purl, and as if to purl, take off, as if to knit, and then as if to knit, take off, as if to purl, and as if to purl, take off, as if to knit, and then as if to knit, take off, as if to purl, as if to purl, take off, as if to knit, as if to knit, take off, as if to purl, as if to purl, take off, as if to knit, and then as if to knit, and pass to the last one. And there we have it. See how nice it looks? So no seam, and it is very clean. It's a very nice finish. And I'll make a knot on the other side, and I'll come back to show you how to sew this part. Okay, so now we're going to sew the sides, and it's easy. This is to go from this knot to that, and from one side to the other you take half of one stitch from one side, half of the other, and that's the reason we added a stitch on each side, so that we could sew this and you still end up with your 40 stitches around. So you sew it, and this is not going to show at all unless you touch where the seam is. Let me show you how this looks. I'll do a few more stitches up. Okay. So let's see, and you do it on both sides, and that's it. That's all there is to your boot. And I will take some pictures, and I'll have the instructions written down, and you still have time to make a boot. See how clean that is? It doesn't show. Let me show you. See, the seam is right there. And so that's the way it's supposed to look. Thank you very much for watching. Share us with your friends, and like our page and subscribe, and I will see you next time.